Hello boys and girls, it's number time. And this week we're going to be looking at number sentences again. But this week we're going to be looking at both types of number sentence. Do you remember what this sign is? That is add. Do you have any other words for it? What other words do we use? Plus. We use plus sometimes, don't we? Oops. L-U-S. We're going to be looking at lots of different ways to say adding this week. And we're going to be looking at lots of different ways to say, I'm going to change the colour of that. We're going to be looking at lots of different ways to say, what's that one? That is taking away. And we sometimes use subtract. Can you think of anything else we use? We sometimes use minus as well. See, the thing is, when you're a big boy and girl, number sentences don't come as number sentences. You're talking to somebody and they say, oh yeah, well yesterday I went, when I lived on a sailboat, and I had to go through a big canal, the man came on the boat and he was like, right, how long is your boat? And I said, well, it's 10 meters. And he was like, okay, is it 10 meters plus your wind vane, which was this thing sticking off the back? Or is it 10 meters overall? And I had to decide whether that was an addition or a subtraction sentence. What do you think? It's more, isn't it? Because he wanted to know if it was more or if it was less. So less is also taking away, isn't it? More is adding. Okay, so we have we've got 4 for taking away, and we have 3 for adding. And let's get another one for adding. I often say all together. How much is that all together? And if you hear all together, you definitely know that it's a plus sentence. All together. So I'm going to give you some number sentences, some number stories, and you are going to write down the number sentences, okay? And then you're going to send them to me. That's all you need to do. Well, you have to solve the number sentences as well, obviously. Okay, so once upon a time, Miss Julie, once again, had 11 biscuits. She got very hungry during snack time, and she didn't eat them. Somebody came and took 6 of them away. Now, can you write down that sentence? 11 biscuits, 6 were taken away. Is that an adding or is it a taking away sentence? You're right. It's a subtraction sentence. 11 minus 6 equals, you have to write down the answer. Now, the next one is, did you figure out the answer to that one? Just for this one, the rest of them, you are going to have to figure out the answer yourself. All right. Once upon a time, Fox class were very, very good, and they had 6 happy sunshines. And then they went to PE with Mr. Angelo. I know you don't say Mr. Angelo, but I'm in the habit of saying Mr. Angelo, I'm sorry. They went to PE with Angelo, and Angelo was so delighted by how well they behaved that he gave them 2 more happy sunshines. Now, is more adding or is more taking away? More is adding. So they had 6 and Angelo gave them 2. So that is that number sentence. Now, what is 6 and 2? I'm going to get a bit... We're focusing on the language today, so the number sentences are going to be quite simple, because actually it's the language you need to be thinking of. From tomorrow, I'm going to be giving trickier number sentences, okay? Now, let's do a bigger number sentence then. What is 15 minus 9? Can you write that number sentence, please? 15 minus 9. You ready? 15 minus 9. Okay. If you take, ready for the next one? If you take 14 and 8, how much is that all together? Can you write down that number sentence, please? 15 and 8 is how much all together? Oh, did I say 14 the first time or did I say 15? I'm going to put 15 in there anyway because that was not the right number, was it? So, are you ready? So that is 15 plus 8. You ready for the next one? I had 12 nectarines, but then my friend gave me 8 more. Is that an addition number sentence or taking away one? I had 12 nectarines, and my friend gave me 8 more. Can you write down that number sentence? Here you go. Now, what is... This one is trickier, all right? This one is much trickier. So when you use the word less, you are also taking away. But generally the smaller number goes first, so you have to think about it. Move it around. So, what is 8 less than 14? What is 8 less than 14? Now, do you remember the rule with writing with number sentences, with subtraction number sentences, is you always put the biggest number first. So what is 8 less than 14? What number are you going to put first? You are going to put 14 first, and less is always taking away. All right, I'm going to, let's see, do you think we could add some more numbers, some more things to that? Difference between. If I said to you, what is the difference between 7 and 14? What would you do with that? What is the difference between 7 and 14? It's taking away. The difference between is always taking away. So the difference between 7 and 14, what do we need to do? Write down the biggest number first. So what's the biggest number? The difference between 7 and 14. Ta-da! Let's do that one again. What is the difference between 18 and 6? What is the difference between 18 and 6? What's the biggest number? When it's a taking away sentence, we always start with the biggest number. What is it 18 or is it 6? Start with 18. Now, I have not given you the answers to most of these. You need to do the answers, and you can use either the part whole that we did last week, or you can use the 10 frames. You can take away however you want. I just want to see the answers, and if you can tell me how you came up with the answers, if you did use a 10 frame or a part whole, then show me. I would love to see them, okay? Let's do one more. What is 3 more than 9? If I said 3 more than 9, is that adding or is it taking away? More is adding. More is adding. More is bigger. So 3 more than 9. Can you write down the number sentence? All right. And there's plenty more words for adding and taking away, but we will look at them later in the week. But for now, I'm going to take a picture of that and put it up on Seesaw, and I want you to have a go and send them in to me, okay? I'm going to be doing lots of this week.